What is up, everyone, and welcome back into another casted game of Age of Empires 4. Today, our contestants are going to be Lord Voldemort playing as the Japanese on the left side of the map, and on the right side of the map, we're going to be seeing Innocence play as the Mongols. Both of these players are incredibly highly rated on that leaderboard, and we are going to see a great fight today, I think. Lord Voldemort immediately moving a ton of villagers over here to the shoreline fish. The shoreline fish is, of course, the #1 food production in the game, the fastest for villagers in particular. And so this is just going to help them set up their food production super early. And the Japanese bonus, the houses do count as food drop-off locations immediately. Innocence, with their con, does spot this and is going to start harassing these villagers, which is going to be very annoying, especially since they don't have anywhere to garrison from this point. So either a outpost is going to have to go down, or they're going to have to do something about that Khan. The Khan deciding to move away. The Khan, of course, for the Mongols, can start shooting arrows immediately after existing. So right off the bat, on this side of the map, we're getting that Uvu down immediately to help with that stone production, which is very needed for the Mongols. That outpost is, of course, going down now. The Khan coming back, deciding to get a little more damage in and just slowly chip away at that health of that villager there. And before things start getting even crazier, I just wanted to take a moment for the community spotlight today. Our comment comes from To The Moon, who says, great casting. Thank you so much, To The Moon. I really do appreciate it. And if you guys do enjoy these videos, please consider leaving a like or even a comment, because it helps out with that YouTube algorithm a ton. So that outpost did successfully go down, and now these villagers are going to be able to garrison away from this Khan that is harassing them. This villager is so low health, it looks like Innocence just absolutely wants to kill that villager. It is so close to death, and now this villager cannot leave this area just because that Khan will absolutely finish it off. If it does, we are getting an early barracks down for Japan. It looks like Japan does want to make spears in the Dark Age before moving into that feudal age. Still just gathering a ton of food over here on these shoreline fish. Incredible food production for the Japanese player. And over here on this side of the map, it looks like we are just getting a standard opening. So now that that Khan has left the area and is scouting up, here it looks like Voldemort does want to move this villager back to safety, get it under the TC so that it doesn't die to that Khan harassment. Now everybody over here is full health, 5 villagers, the perfect amount to garrison in that outpost. A ton of sheep back here for the Japanese player. Let's check. 5 more sheep than Innocence. Unfortunate, I think, because Innocence was using their scout, their Khan, to harass over here. It looks like Lord Voldemort was able to snag up a bunch of sheep. Now, both of these civilizations are incredibly aggro. Mongols is very, very aggro. It has Keshik once you get to feudal age, and so you can start spamming those Keshik. They are cheaper than knights, but they also have less health and less damage. So it's a little bit of a trade-off. They're not nearly as strong as royal knights, but they are cheaper and available in feudal age. And so a little bit more efficient on that economy to build the Keshik. And we are getting a Deerstone down, which is going to unlock the Khan's Hunters, which are a unique cavalry range unit for the Mongols. I think this move over here was pretty genius. Getting this super fast early food production is going to be incredible for making units. Lord Voldemort, as the Japanese, has delayed that feudal age up time by quite a bit over here, and I'm curious why they have done that. A lot of times, if that feudal age up is quite delayed, it's because they're focusing a bunch of villagers on resources to get that castle, that fast castle age up as quick as possible. And I'm not sure if that is what Lord Voldemort is going to do as Japan today, but we will have to see. The reason Japan wants to go castle age as fast as possible is because of their mounted samurai, which are insanely tanky and a very, very strong unit for raids. Those mounted samurai, if they come out, will be absolutely devastating to any villagers on the map. Now, Lord Voldemort is moving a ton of villagers over here to get this storehouse down, so I'm not sure if they're going for a fast castle. Usually, you age up with 1 or 2 villagers if you're going for a fast castle, and then leave everybody else on food production and gold production. And as we can see, there's only 3 villagers over here on gold at the moment, which would not be enough to get that fast castle in quickly enough. These villagers still just gathering that shoreline fish very, very efficiently as this Khan is fighting a wolf down here for Innocence. Innocence now getting an archery range, and so we are probably going to see those Khan Hunter units. Khan's Hunters. Is it 2 S's? Khan's Hunter. 1 S. And over here on this map, we still just have that barracks down. Lord Baltimore is amassing a pretty decent amount of spears to protect those villagers on that fish. And we have 13 villagers on wood over here. Looks like Lord Baltimore might just dedicate to a feudal push here, getting a bunch of military units in that feudal age at the moment as this Khan swings over. Oh, here we go. The Khan's hunters are here with the Khan to come and harass these villagers over here on the shoreline fish. This is going to delay food production a lot for Lord Baltimore. So this could be potentially very, very annoying as these units are ranged and cavalry. And so these spears are going to have a tough time, I think, to actually counter these Khan hunters, horsemen, or some archers back here. And as we can see, it does look like the Yumi are being produced in mass. The Yumi are a much cheaper version of archers. And so it makes them very, very easy to amass in large numbers. They are also weaker. But that reduced cost does make it very, very easy to amass a ton of them. So I think the Yumi are here to counter these Khan's Hunter units, getting a lot of range damage in on them from a distance, as they will be very, very annoying to Lord Baltimore's villagers. A buff going off from the Khan, and now the Keshik are on the battlefield. These are available in feudal age, and so now these Keshik can run around and harass everywhere on the map. They're going to be very annoying cavalry, and that's what these spears are here for. One single archer getting caught out for the Mongols. It does fall. It looks like our Mongols player is producing archers as well as the Khan's hunter. And in the back of the base, it looks like the Khan and his hunters are moving in to attack these villagers on farms. Lord Baltimore is able to pull them off quickly enough. Is just dealing damage to those farms as they're running the Khans through this base, getting some damage off on a villager as well, getting that villager to about half health. A couple Yumi run over here to try and chase these Khan hunters out of the base. And ultimately, that cavalry does leave this area. Oh, the Keshik are here. Those 2 Yumi are probably going to die to these Keshik at the moment as they are in full charge mode. And those Yumi Ashikara get absolutely decimated by those Keshik. Unfortunate there. We do have a military moving in to attack the Deerstones. The Deerstones is, of course, that age 2 landmark. It did get moved out pretty far here. Maybe potentially to be used as vision, but it is going to take some heavy losses in this area as the Keshik run in to get multiple villager kills here for Innocence. Lord Baltimore did take 2 villager losses from that attack. Beautiful attack on this woodline from our Khan's player. And they were able to clean up a 3rd villager as well. They might even get a 4th here with these Keshik. Ultimately, the villagers have to fall back farther behind on this wood line to avoid dying to all of those Keshik. Yumi Ashikara here are just going to get chewed up by these Keshik, and they're trying to be microed back and forth to get in as much damage as possible without taking heavy losses themselves. How are the shoreline fish doing? These villagers on shoreline fish have been alive for so long now. They're putting another house down to, of course, collect that resource. The spears over here still trying to get some damage in on these Deerstones while the Keshik run in to disrupt the Yumi off to the side. Those Yumi were not positioned very, very well, and now it doesn't look like the spears. Oh, and the Yumi are going to get surrounded. The spears need to come in here and protect those archers. Now they are turning around to fight. More Yumi are here to help this battle for Lord Voldemort, but ultimately there's just so many Keshik in this battle that I think they're going to overwhelm these archers at any moment. Innocence ultimately deciding to fall back from that fight, not wanting to fully dedicate, though the reinforcements there for Lord Voldemort did help out a ton in chasing out that raiding party at the moment. The Deerstones moving back, deciding to fall back quite a bit. And let's check and see if anybody's making any moves for Castle Age. It doesn't appear that anybody is doing that. We do have wedged rivets over here for the side of Innocence, and balanced projectiles over here on the side of Lord Voldemort. Lord Voldemort deciding to go with that offensive upgrade, while Innocence going with that defensive upgrade. Several Keshik here are very, very low health. They are still roaming the map, though. Mongols player moving their food production over here to the deer, while this military is stationed here to protect these shoreline fish. Japan, I am surprised Japan is not going for a fast castle at the moment, or a castle age up at all at the moment. It's pretty evenly split here between food and wood villagers at the moment. The Keshik moving into the Japanese base to look for an attack, and they do have it on this wood line. They're going to be able to run here, get several villager kills on this wood line. This is a devastating attack here for Lord Voldemort, who's just lost 5 more villagers in that attack. The Yumi are here to try and defend, though. They are going to be able to pick off a few of these Keshik. This Yumi ball has gotten to a large amount. We're looking at 38 Yumi on the side of the Japanese player. So this is getting to a scary degree over here, and we have about 14 archers for our Mongols player. Several military production buildings down. Just all archery ranges. We have 4 archery ranges and 1 barracks massing those Yumi. Looks like Lord Voldemort does want to attack here. The Keshik might be able to get several kills in this fight if they fight head-to-head. The Deerstones deciding to pick up and move back yet again. Innocents look like they might have a split attack here to pinch Lord Voldemort and all of these Yumi. The Keshik now running in to try and get some damage in, but ultimately the Yumi turn around and take out one of the low-health Keshik. That's going to be a problem. The Deerstone's going down next to the Castle Age Up landmark. This landmark here is going to kill units in its aura, which is going to be very, very useful for the Mongols player, as the Japanese player is moving in with all of their archers to try and take out the Deerstones. And doing a pretty good job of it, too. More Yumi, just mass Yumi. It's all archers. It's all cheap archers all the time over here for the Japanese player. This has gotten to a significant number. We're up to 55 Yumi, and we're seeing the benefits of them being so cheap now, is that you really can just amass them like crazy. Both players are almost dead even here in resources gathered as these militaries decide to fight. The Keshik are doing just incredible damage to all of those Yumi, and the Yumi just not dealing nearly as much damage to those Keshik in return. The archers in the back here for the Mongols are cleaning up a lot of kills as well, and it looks like Lord Voldemort did lose 10 Yumi in that fight. That's a pretty heavy loss there for those archers. Now it looks like the Deerstones... Oh, this is the Castle Age Up. So the Castle Age Up landmark is moving out to try and help heal all of these units. Our Mongols player trying to take a little map control with this Age Up building here and give their units a path to heal, a station to heal at. All of these units now attacking the outposts for these shoreline fish, but all of the villagers have been pulled back now. The militaries have gotten to a degree where taking that shoreline fish would actually be pretty difficult. And Innocence, as the Mongol, moving this Castle Age landmark directly into the front of Lord Voldemort's base, ultimately chased out by all of these Yumi, though. Not able to place that castle landmark down right in front of that base. Trying to do it again, though, moving this landmark back and forth to try and get a good spot to heal their army. This is a very, very aggressive castle movement. One of the unique things about about the Mongol civilization is that these buildings all can move. So they're just fully trying to put this into the front of the base to get those heals down. This could be a problem here for Lord Baltimore, but Lord Baltimore has amassed so many Yumi that it is going to be very, very difficult to take all of them out at the moment. The Castle Age landmark moving over right next to the floating gate for the Japanese player. And this is a crazy attack here. All of these archers and Keshik are just getting so many villager kills at the moment. But if we're being real, that Yumi Deathball has not taken very many losses just yet. We're still at 52. We're still at 52 Yumi for Lord Baltimore. And the Keshik are dealing a lot of damage to them. And over here, we can see that the archers and Keshik are being split up to kill a ton of villagers for Lord Baltimore. And the Mongols player are really trying to dominate the front of this base here, while Lord Baltimore is stuck microing back here to fight all of those cavalry units. It does look like the Mongols player has made a very successful push into the front of this base at the moment. These Yumi are just in so much danger of dying to all of the Keshik, and so many villagers here have been lost for Lord Baltimore, who is down 32 villagers at the moment. This is absolutely devastating. The Keshik were able to fully push into that base. Maybe some spears mixed with the Yumi would have helped out a lot. It looks like a lot of the Keshik have actually fallen, and now that they have, these Yumi are going to be able to kill the archers much, much easier. And I think this military might get cleaned up, but after losing 35 villagers, I don't know how Lord Baltimore is going to recover. The several more Keshik and archers here in the back of the base, dealing a lot of damage still, not letting Lord Baltimore breathe at all. And it does look like this military is absolutely cleaned up for the Mongols player. And oh my goodness, Lord Baltimore is down to only 20 villagers. Can Lord Baltimore come back from this? We're at a 21-56 villager difference. The Yumi chasing all of these military units out of the base still. Lord Baltimore fighting for their life, trying to stay in this game as long as possible. But that attack was just brutal. The Keshik and Archer combo were able to just steamroll over the Yumi and take out as many villagers as possible. And that was just a brutal, devastating attack. And now we can see that our Mongols player is up 5,000 resources, and that is just because they have so many more villagers than our Japanese player at the moment. But I do want to see if Lord Baltimore can make a comeback here. That would genuinely be incredible if Lord Baltimore came back and won this game. I don't think that is very likely at these numbers of losses, but who knows? Anything could happen. Our Mongols player is in such a strong lead. I do think they need to just push and end the game. Our Japan is trying to gather some relics here with that Shinto priest. The floating gate does grant you access to just one Shinto priest off rip, and then it creates multiple more over time. And the difference here in villagers is just staggering, and I don't know how Lord Baltimore is going to be able to come back from this, but let's wait and see and find out. That attack did feel like a game-ending attack, but Lord Baltimore did not forfeit and is still trying to stay in this game with about half of the villagers that Innocence has. This resource lead getting stronger every minute as the military for the Mongols moves in to attack the archery range. Using this Age 3 landmark to continually heal these units as they push. It looks like this archery range is going to fall. The Yumi staying back at the moment and not deciding to defend for now as this archery range does burn down. Now the Keshik are moving in to start burning down in these houses, and this will be a problem. It'll make it to where the population drops here for Lord Baltimore, who really cannot stand to lose much more. I just don't know how the Yumi are going to hold against all of these Keshik. More are joining the party. These archers are also doing wonderful for the Mongols player, who is now burning down so many buildings in the front of Lord Baltimore's base. And Lord Baltimore is just not surrendering at the moment, dedicating to playing this out and seeing who wins this fight. This landmark is just so good. It's so mobile, moving everywhere around the map. Now, Lord Baltimore, after losing these 2 houses, is going to be at the population limit. And more houses going down is just going to mean they can't build any more units, which is going to be a huge problem here for Lord Baltimore, who still is not surrendering, trying to make the comeback of the century. These Yumi just patrolling on the outside of the map, it looks like, as all of these Keshik and archers continue to burn down these houses. And just deciding not even to fight at the moment. Where are they going? Where are all of these Yumi going to go? Lord Baltimore is at 86 out of 80 population and is losing more houses. It looks like the houses are going down on the back of this base. And the Yumi are just walking back and forth. They're not fighting. They're not even getting in range damage under the TC at the moment. And now this landmark is moving directly in to the front of the TC for Lord Baltimore. Very unfortunate here. This landmark has done so much work in healing up all of these units. The Yumi might have found an opening here to attack all of these archers, moving in to attack the Khan first. They might be able to take out most of these archers, but the Keshik are moving back in to attack all of the Yumi, and that's just going to be absolutely devastating, as we can see even more reinforcements rolling out here for our Mongols player, and I have no idea how Lord Baltimore could possibly win this. They are so behind at the moment, and these Keshik just running in to absolutely decimate all of these Yumi and not letting them live their lives at all. Mongols player now attacking that landmark and just wiping out the entire army back here. These Keshik just absolutely decimating these Yumi. I don't know why we didn't see very many spears here for the Japanese player, especially as you can get those spear upgrades in the Dark Age. And Lord Baltimore calls it with the GG. Innocence won this one.